Has life ever seemed chaotic to you? I mean, I'm sure that most of us, we know what it's like to have a full schedule or obligations or responsibilities. If we have kids, we definitely know that. Isn't it beautiful out here today? Look at this. What I really appreciate about living out here in the country is that you can hear the stillness. In fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about this morning or this evening, whenever you watch this, is the beauty in stillness. I find it interesting that most people, when they get like a dog as a pet, you teach it how to sit, right? But rarely do we train ourselves to sit, to reflect, to be still. And our minds just keep going and going and going, whether we're anxious or planning for the future or burdened by or dwelling on the past. It's easy to get stuck in our minds and our heads. But the Lord, He wants to dwell within our hearts. So how do we get to that heart space, that heart set? How do we learn to be still and know that He is God? It's a discipline. It takes effort. If we just get up in the morning and go throughout our routine and just get things done and we're doing, we forget to just be. And we've been sent here to be, not to do. The doing comes afterwards. It just comes naturally. I think about like Elijah when he was in the cave and there was all the destruction going on all around him. The mountains were crumbling, the storms were raging. And then he said, but the voice of the Lord was not found in the mountains crumbling or in the storms that were raging, but in a still, small voice. Can you hear it? Can you hear His voice? I would encourage and even invite each of you to set an intention. Take 15 minutes. That's it. Take your phone, put it on airplane mode, and for 15 minutes, and I would encourage to do this daily. If you can do it twice a day, that's amazing. But just take that time to just sit and wait upon the Lord. As we sit and we just wait, our thoughts will naturally come up, and everything that we have going on, our mind has been conditioned to try to get to the next place. But what would happen if we can just put all that on pause? I'll tell you what'll happen. We will come to know our God because He is found in the stillness. He said, I stand at your heart and I knock. Are we taking time to dine with Him? That's what He says. I want to come in there. I want to dine with you. I want to feast with you. Is He not the living bread? I would invite you to take a 15-minute chunk, at least, and just sit with your Creator. And you will find that He will pour His love into you in ways that we never could have imagined. Mind cannot comprehend the things that He will show unto us if we will simply listen. I always or often think about the scripture where the Lord's talking about in John 14 and even in John 10, where He talks about His sheep hearing His voice. And I know many, and at least me, I only speak for myself, I interpreted that for a long time of, I will hear His voice through the words of the scriptures, or I'll hear His voice through other people. And that's true. We can hear His voice that way. But He wishes to commune with us directly. That was one of the purposes of His atoning sacrifice, was to reconcile us, to rend the veil that separated man from God. And is He not God? Be still and know that He is.